last time on Hackett Garage, we disassembled a $50 5.3 in hopes that we could build a good, reliable engine with a bunch of performance parts that I have. Didn't really turn out too well. We found bad cam bearings. We found the wrist pin in cylinder 8 was pretty tight, so I had to go shopping for a new one. We're gonna see if doubling the price is gonna make it worth it. I bought this $100 5.3, and I'm hoping that it's gonna be better. It was a running driving unit, but it had a little bit of valve train noise. Hopefully it's nothing major. I'm not gonna video tearing it apart. We did that with the last one, so it's gonna be repetitious. So I'll check back in when we get this thing down to a short block. But I want you to cast your mind back to a few years ago. I posted a video about a truck we built here called the Rocket Skittle. It was a turboed Ellis square body. Well, the first engine in that was 4.8. Well, turns out the bottom end was junk. So it only lasted 3 miles. I went and I bought all those parts about the cam, the heads, head studs, and we're gonna put them in this engine. Unfortunately, that truck was indeed parted out. My friend sold it. It wasn't really what the guy wanted it to be, so he parted the truck out. I bought the Holley Terminator X system out of it with the sheet metal intake, the large injectors, throttle body, all that cool stuff. So it's enough of me yapping. Let's get this thing apart, see what it looks like. Well, I had to tear it down a little further than I wanted to. I ended up taking the connecting rods and the pistons out because I gotta use this fancy tool I got off Amazon because the cam bearings are junk in this one too. And, you know, I guess since we're right here, we might as well change them. All the pistons and rods all checked out. All the bearings look good. We're going to reuse those bearings because why not? Channel's Hackett Garage. And look how freely that crank spins. There's no sense in changing those bearings. Turns out, cam bearings don't like to go in if you have the wrong ones. Didn't realize that this engine was an older 5.3, and the one I bought cam bearings for was a newer one. So I hope to be the correct cam bearings for it. And now I'm going to try and tap them in there. Well, I successfully got all the cam bearings in, and I got the rotating assembly back in. We're getting ready to put this cam in. It's a Texas Speed BFD, so it's a chop monster. Well, I didn't have a puller to pull this gear off, so I just went and bought one. And even sometimes when you buy new tools, they need help. This cross piece was too small in the factory kit. So C-clamp for the win. Look at that. Look at the action on that. Coming right off now. Whoops. We went ahead and started putting some new parts on. We got this new timing gear and chain on, as well as the new oil pump. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I got all this stuff on Amazon. It came in a kit for $72. So I know if anything happens to this engine, anybody that cares will probably blame the Amazon parts. But screw it. Cheapies. We got our 5.3 off the engine stand so we can put this back main seal cover on, as well as changing this plug in the oil galley. So, got our drill. We're going to see just how easy it is to do this. Just like that. We've got this aluminum one, bought off of Amazon. Put my finger in here. Try to lubricate the O-rings. This one has to actually get some oil. Just gonna tap this in here with this hammer. Nope. There we go. Good enough for who I go with. Now all these gaskets I got on Amazon, they're really cheap. I want to say it was like under $100 for the entire engine gasket kit. And since I bought different variations of stuff, I ended up with duplicates. Good enough. We'll get it back on the stand. Next order of business, now we get the greasy 5.3 back on the engine stand, is we're going to put the lifters in. These are LS7 style lifters that came out of the junk 4.8. I've had them sitting in oil for a couple of weeks. We've also got the lifter trays out of the 4.8, and we're going to be robbing the head studs off of it too. Well, in order to put the top end on this engine, we had to switch around some valve springs. I was hoping to use the heads off the 4.8, but apparently I left the engine uncovered and the valves got rusty. So I'm taking the stock heads off the 5.3 and just changing out the bigger valve springs. Got this one already done, doing this one. I forgot that those other heads had aftermarket valves on them, which kind of sucks, but they're not that bad. I probably could have cleaned them up and made them work, but might as well just use the heads that were on this engine. Yeah, as expected, I definitely broke that head stud right off in there. I tried drilling it out, I can't drill it, so now we're going to result to option 2, and that's drill this hole out, tap it, and put a bolt in it. That's right, you heard that correct. I got a 9/16 drill so we can drill the cylinder head, and then I've got this 33/64 drill bit for this 9/16 fine thread tap, and then I've got a variety of fine thread 9/16 bolts. We're going to tap it, put it in there, and hope and pray that the rest of the head studs work out so I don't have to do this to all the holes. So after a little bit of difficulty getting the tap started, my pal Mason came up and just rammed the threads right in there with a drill, and we've got it tapped. Now the next order of business will be drilling the hole in the head out to 9/16 to accept the bolt. You know, I genuinely am concerned that this engine just doesn't want to go together because there's constantly roadblocks. I got this head all torqued down, got my bolt in there, and the socket won't come out. By the way, that's an old school Craftsman 13/16 spark plug socket. It was thin enough to fit in this little port on the head. So if anybody does this, that's what you need. But obviously the socket doesn't come out, so you're gonna have to trim it. So my plan is, I have this extension. I'm going to weld said extension to the socket. I've got this Icon puller that's gonna clamp the extension, and then I've got this big block Chevy main cap with these 3/8 bolts that it's going to help pull the socket out. Well, it really didn't take much to pull it out. I mean, I could wiggle it back and oh, that's hot. I could move it around with the vice grips in there, but it's just stuck enough. 9/16 bolt for the win. I hope. Well, I got the second cylinder head on. All is good. And now we can put in these push rods. Where are they? Chromoly push rods, Brian Tooley Racing ones. They should do the trick. We got Brian Tooley Racing, Amazon, and Texas Speed parts in this thing. So hopefully it stays together. Put the valve train on this thing, rockers and push rods and all that good stuff. And now I can do final assembly on some little things to put this thing in the truck. That's going to be the end of this Hackett Garage. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you. Like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends. And we might do a couple shorts of some small stuff on this engine. But until then, go out there and build something.